Welcome back, everyone. Well, as many of you know, we've certainly had our challenges over the last week. Trying to get back on air. We're all running around here with our heads cut off. But everybody all of a sudden started smiling today. We looked over, it was him. He's back. Chuck Vosganian, founder, Rochmon Record Club. Welcome back, Chuck.
Hi, Jesse. How are you?
It's really true. Thank you.
Thank you.
For giving us all just a moment of joy today.
A pause.
Because it's been a very sticky situation around here.
Yeah, that ties in very. I like the segue.
Gee, what a segue that turned out to be. Right on the heels of an incredibly successful Rochmon for Tom Petty. Guess what? Next Tuesday night, Sticky Fingers.
Rolling Stones. Absolutely
Holy
fantastic.
mackerel. You told me that. We saw how I lit up when you said that.
Yeah.
I mean, there are albums, and then there are albums.
Yeah.
And when it comes to Sticky Fingers and the Rolling Stones, that album represents so much of what popular culture was at the turn of the decade, right? The move back to the roots of rock and roll, the supremacy of the Rolling Stones and their contribution to really, I think, shaping what a lot of bands. You could run a list of bands that just listened to Sticky Fingers and said, okay, that's it.
Yeah.
It's time to do this.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So let's talk about it. Recorded probably 69, 70?
69, 70, they did their first recordings at Muscle Shoals. And they did them in Muscle Shoals. They actually weren't planning on recording in the United States. Their visas wouldn't allow them to. They could only perform here. And they figured, we go to Muscle Shoals, nobody's going to know we're there.
Yeah, right.
Little Sheffield, Alabama. Who's going to know we're here? So they went down there and they recorded 3 songs down there. Brown Sugar being one of them, and the song that kicks off the record. I mean, you can't kick off a record better than that. So.
It's an absolutely phenomenal song, and I encourage you to look up the reason for Brown Sugar. It's an interesting story, just like many of the stories surrounding the Rolling Stones. Has something to do with being down there at Muscle Shoals, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You Got to Move, I think, was another one, right? At Muscle Shoals recorded.
I think they did. I think they started at Muscle Shoals. They didn't finish it there. They finished some of these things at Olympic Studios in London.
Right.
And then they did. They also did some out at Stargroves using the mobile studio, Jagger's country estate up there.
That's right. Yeah. The interesting thing when Chuck and I were talking about this, and we were just starting to list the songs, Sways, Wild Horses, which of course has a whole story behind that and everything else. And all of a sudden, Chuck looked at me and said, bitch. And I was just like, I lit up. I don't think there's a song. When you think about the Stones and the discography, what have they not written? But man alive, when it comes to Bitch and that horn section.
Horn section is unbelievable.
Just smokes.
Yep.
Very few bands have ever hit that level of energy from within, projecting out again. Mention has to go to Longhorns, got to go to Keys.
Yeah, Bobby Keys and Jim Price, unbelievable. And Keys and Price are both consummate musicians. Keys plays saxophone, Price plays trumpet, but really Keys plays the woodwinds, and Price plays the horns.
That's right.
And so Keys is laying down the bari sax, he's laying down tenor sax, he's putting on alto sax, and Price is playing the trombone, he's playing the trumpet, probably a couple of different size trumpets. So he's really they really layer in the horn section and make it, because they wanted to show the Stones. The Stones hadn't toured with the horn section yet.
That's right.
And they wanted to show the Stones that they could do what the Memphis Horns does. They could do it. The Texas Longhorns could do it. And both of those guys were from Texas. That was their joke. They called themselves the Longhorns. And after Sticky Fingers, they were on the tour.
If you listen to that cut, things that stand out to me is, because he's right, they two guys tackled a number of different horns.
Yeah.
And the juxtapositioning between the trumpet and the bari on that rhythm section, on that key phrase that repeats itself throughout that song, just rip your head off.
Yep.
Well, I don't know how you're even going to get through. We got, and of course, Sister Morphine.
Yeah, I mean, and the thing is that as you started talking about in the beginning, the subject matter for the lyrics, the Stones songs on this album are about three subjects, and you can argue probably every song is about these three subjects. But sex, drugs, and rock and roll. That's what it's about, and that's pretty much what Jagger was interested in 1970. He wasn't really money, maybe, but other than that, it was sex, drugs, and rock and roll, and it was a big part of the Stones' image as well, all that stuff. And Sister Morphine is a really depressing, really dark song. And there's some of it that's tied to his breakup of his relationship with Marianne Faithfull.
That's right.
The lyrics were started when Faithfull has a co-writing credit.
Yeah, but she was the morphine queen.
She was the morphine queen. Yeah, exactly, exactly. And so she gets writing credit on the song, and there's some really cruel twists in the song lyrically, absolutely. But musically, the thing that comes out to me when I really can sit down and really listen deeply to this record is how great Jagger inhabits the vocal. Like you feel the pain, you feel. You just feel it. He is so good. And some of the songs, the band. Bitch is a great example. The band provides the power, and Jagger's got to match it and exceed it. In some songs, the band just has to put down what it puts down, and Jagger has to bring the power. And Sister Morphine, he brings it. He brings it so great. It's such a great record.
Okay.
Tuesday.
Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is Tuesday. You got to get there early. Rochmon is selling out. It's a Caffe Lena, a perfect environment for this kind of presentation. And I got news for you. Sticky Fingers. You got to know everything you can possibly know about this album that really changed society and culture at the time.
It's so much fun.
Great to see you there. And of course, you know I'll be there.
Oh, yeah. You better be there.
I will. Okay, I think I'm supposed to say, if you want to see this interview again, you can head to our website, Look TV, online. Dun 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 dun.